Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the Sunday service of Now Creations. Before we begin this morning, may I simply ask you to be good to yourself. Feel good about yourself. You're a wonderful being. You have great love within you. There's a calmness and a goodness within you. Be happy. Smile. Just know what a lovely being you are. And may you just consider yourself to be filled with love today, filled with goodness. Nothing more important, just to be who you are with all of the goodness that you have. Before I begin today, I do have two announcements to make. First one, just a reminder that we'll be doing our Zoom meeting starting tomorrow for all of our virtual meetings. Please make sure that you download or print out the instructions we have given from Now Creations. Very simple instructions. And secondly, I want you to know that I am not oblivious to all of the things going on in society today. Obviously, there's a lot of social unrest. My hope is that I'll be able to address some of that in my talk here this morning. Let's begin. First of all, let me say that it's not just a joy to be with you, but it's really an expanding joy to be with you on an ongoing basis. Just more and more of us are realizing that divine presence at the very center of our beings. So before we begin today, let me just suggest these two things. The first one is the understanding of how much you have personally changed, not just through the past years, but especially in the last few months. Your awareness is expanding. You see things much more clearly, and you are responding with greater confidence. I just want to compliment you. This is such an important thing for us to understand, that growth that is transpiring within us. And secondly, what I would like to suggest, have you noticed how the people around you and the situations in which you've been involved seem to now be responding to your greater presence? The joy, the strength, the power you're bringing is such an important thing for others and in situations. Please never doubt the impact you are having. With that in mind, let me now proceed to today's teaching. What I have in mind is a trilogy of teachings. A trilogy of teachings, obviously beginning with today, and focusing on the greater expansion that awaits you, to the degree that you are willing to move into the awareness. Today's teaching, the first of the trilogy, is entitled Remembering. Let me begin with a little poem that has a fountain of wisdom gushing forth whenever we say it, and then proceed to the three levels of remembering. First, the poem. Perhaps you know it, and it's just so lovely. Good, better, best. Never let it rest until the good becomes better and the better best. Just say it again. Good, better, best. Never let it rest until the good becomes better and the better best. Let me now share with you what I consider to be the good, the better, and the best when it comes to remembering who you are. You might want to take some notes. First, the good. The good news of remembering who you are is to recognize that you are a free being. You are free to choose how you will proceed in life. Sometimes we've made good choices, sometimes maybe not so good, but the truth of the matter is that you are free to decide. And it's just as true that while no one can tell you what to think, you will become what you think. Because thoughts are energies that create your day-to-day reality. Good thoughts in, the better the reality. Bad thinking in, the results are less than satisfying. It is obvious in today's world that people are free. No one is going to tell them what to do. But it is just as obvious that there is so much thinking that results in separation, in negative behavior that is problematic in so many ways. For me, it called to mind a scene from Fyodor Dostoevsky's The Brothers Karamazov. The Brothers Karamazov. In this particular scene, entitled The Grand Inquisitor, the Grand Inquisitor is a church official in 15th century Spain who arrests the person of Jesus and has him thrown in jail. The gist of the dialogue between the Grand Inquisitor and Jesus concerns the limits of free will and the goodness and stability of human nature. In a nutshell, the Grand Inquisitor tells Jesus that his message of freedom, especially freedom from the church's teachings, is too much for the people to handle. The people just cannot handle their freedom. They make too many poor choices, and they end up harming each other. Obviously, our world today is filled with many poor choices and much harm to others. The Grand Inquisitor concludes that it is better to have humans live in ignorance rather than to follow their God-given free will. The point of the Grand Inquisitor has an awful lot of merit. People often do not use their freedom appropriately, often causing more harm to themselves and to others. This is truly a realistic picture of the world today, where the good of free will often results in its careless use, truly in its careless use. Thus, the good of free will needs to look to something better. The good of free will needs to look higher to something better. Let me present it to you in these two ways. The first ways. For centuries now, the world has paid tribute to a person by the name of Siddhartha Gautama. Siddhartha was the man that the world has called the Buddha. The word Buddha simply meaning the man who woke up. The Buddha thus being the awakened one. Two questions naturally arise. The first one, well, what did the Buddha awake from? And what did the Buddha awake to? What the Buddha awoke from is the limitation of his human condition. For years, the Buddha searched and searched to try to find more than just the temporary things of the world. What was there that could really, in a sense, bring him to greater joy? And then he found it. What the Buddha awoke to was the realization that there is an eternal part of each one of us. There is the God Spirit that lies at the very center of our being. There was something in the Buddha and something in us that is eternal, not temporary. This was not an easy search for the Buddha. It took the Buddha a lot of years because he didn't have anyone who could show him the way. But gradually, little by little, he came to know that he had a divine center, an eternal, conscious, aware soul. And it is on his shoulders and the shoulders of many others, Plato, Aristotle, and Jesus, that we now stand today, knowing that we too have that divine essence. We have that eternal soul. Let me now give you the second incident. Recently, I was talking to someone, and he said that, Vince, you have an uncanny ability of helping people to remember who they are. His comments were right on target because he had come to see what the Buddha saw, that he too has an eternal soul from which he now operates, enlightening his human experience. Such an experience in today's world is not always an easy thing. We have so many old habits. There's a lot of glitzy things in the world. We just get tempted to forget who we are. But he, like the Buddha, has awakened. Now, please notice these two things. First, what the Buddha and this gentleman awakened to was already within them. They didn't have to search for what wasn't there. They just had to get beyond the limitations of the human condition, of their surface being. And when they did so, what they were able to see was the eternal soul within. It has never been lost, but it still has to be found. The Buddha awoke to his eternal soulness. The gentleman remembered his eternal soulness. What was always there now became who they are. What was always there became who they are. This remembrance brings to mind a light, a teaching from A Course in Miracles. The Course in Miracles teaches that the past for many people, perhaps including you, has been a case of mistaken identity. A mistaken identity from which we are now awakening. Is this not true? A mistaken identity which we are now remembering. Is this not true? However you say it, we are awakening or we are remembering. Do you not see that what is much better than just the good of free will? What is better than just the good of free will is the alignment of our souls with the God Spirit. Let me say it again. What is better than free will is the alignment of our eternal souls with the God Spirit. Unguided human freedom is a lower energy. Have we not seen this? Guided alignment from our soul center is a much higher vibration that is quite palpable. You can feel the difference. Yes, Vince, I clearly see what you are saying. But did you not say good, better, best? Never let it rest until the good becomes better? I get that part, that what's better than the good of freedom is soul alignment. But what is the best? What is better than soul alignment? Let me tell you. But before I do, are you ready to hear it? Really? Do you really want to know what is the best? And then let me ask you another question. If I can show you what is really better than just waking up, than just remembering, will you go for it? I'm serious. Will you try it? Will you awaken even more? Will you be willing to remember even more? So let's make a deal. If you do not want to know the best, what is better than simply soul alignment, stop the streaming here. You still have gotten a lot from this teaching, but you can stop here. However, if you want to go further into what is the best, you must be willing to give it a try. Agreed? Stop now, or be willing to try the best. I'll give you a few seconds to decide. Okay. For those of you who are now ready for the best, and remember, you said you would try it. Let me first of all give you the teaching and then some characteristics. First, the teaching with a little review. What is better than the good of freedom? The answer, soul alignment, is better than the good of freedom. Now, what is better than soul alignment? What is the best? What is the best? The best has these three simple steps, a simple syllogism. First, from the New Testament, God is love. Second, from A Course in Miracles, teach only love, for that is what you are. Third, the conclusion, you are the love of God. That's the best. I'll repeat it. From the New Testament, God is love, step one. The second step, from Course in Miracles, love is what you are. Step three, the conclusion, you are the love of God. This is the best. Now here's the evidence. When I gave you the syllogism, these three steps, did you not feel the vibration of love within you? Did you not feel that vibration of love? Don't you feel it right now? You, I, we are the love of God. We are the vibration of God's love. We are experiencing this right now. Again, do you not feel it? Are you not waking up to it as the Buddha did? Are you not remembering it as the gentleman did? You are the love of God in human form. You are the love of God in human form. That's the best. Just a little more. In the past 2 months, Now Creations has sent you 2 of the most beautiful descriptions of your identity of love that truly explains characteristics of love very practically. They are Sydney Banks's reflection, Love, It Is Not What You Think It Is, and Alice Bailey's affirmation of the disciple. Please read these again and again. Feel them within yourself. Know them as yourself. You decided to listen to what is best. Not just good, not just better, but what is best. Thus, I know that you are ready to proceed even further in the vibration of love, to feel yourself in this energy, to know yourself eternally as the love of God. And more than just that, you're ready. You're ready to live daily as the love of God, bringing heaven to earth. Is this not clear, Isabel? In conclusion, remember that remembering was simply the first part of the trilogy. I'll be adding 2 more parts later. But again, go back to that nice little phrase, good, better, best. Never let it rest until the good, free will, becomes better, the alignment of your soul, until you finally know what is best, the vibration, the feeling of you as the energy of God, the love of God. Please reflect on Sydney Banks's and Alice Bailey's reflections. They will take you to new heights in very practical ways. And now, let me take you into the meditation of being your best, the love of God. Our theme is obvious, the love of God. Just say it to yourself, the love of God. And let us now begin, as we are wont to do, by simply focusing on the breath, just breathing in and breathing out. You'll notice how easy it is to do right now. Feeling the breath coming in, feeling the breath going out, in joyful anticipation of what is to come. Focus on that burgeoning inner joy. Please begin. Have you noticed how quickly you became settled? But even more than settled, have you not noticed beneath being settled, there's something perking within you? Isn't that a good clue? Something is perking within you. You didn't have to find it. You didn't have to look for it. It just began perking in you. Notice the excitement. Do you not see this as the evidence of what is already there? It's making you perk. Well, maybe it's just freedom. Oh, freedom is good. Freedom is good. We're free. No, it's not freedom. Freedom is involved with the mind, with choice. Will I do this? Will I do that? No, it's not just freedom. There's just something perking in there, bubbling. It contains freedom, but gee, it's so much more than just the good of freedom. Notice this. Notice the perking. Well, it must be the soul's alignment. After all, that's better than simply what is good. It's the good of free will and the soul's alignment. That's better. Yes, but not quite. The soul can still choose to be non-aligned. Sometimes it struggles to be not to be aligned. It's hard to do these things. Alignment is better than freedom. But there seems to be something beyond alignment. It's still perking. Do you not feel that? Now notice what happens as soon as I say these words. You are the love of God. There it is. That's the feeling. Now you are perking. Right now, are you not vibrating in this loving energy? Bathe yourself in it. Allow it to wash over you. Feel its pulsations within your soul center and throughout your body. You might forget what I said to you this morning, but you will not forget how you feel at this moment. Notice how it just comes in waves, again and again and again and again. Those of us on call right now are creating this energy anew. Know yourself, not only as a part of something bigger, but one with others who are a part of this very same love. You are the vanguard of humanity. Allow now this music to accompany your vibrations.
I honor
throughout that music. And right now, have you not and do you not feel the vibration of love? Good, yes. Better, yes. The best, yes. It makes us want to say, I am an eternal being of light and love. Thus, only good can come to me, and only good can come from me. We are eternal beings of light and love. Thus, only good can come to us, and only good can come from us. What a wonderful sharing this morning. Namaste, dear mighty, mighty souls. Namaste.